Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, out on YouTube and Facebook. I'm Crusty Canuck. Welcome to another edition of the Crusty Canuck Thursday Fastball. This week's guests are Tammy and Tiffany, freedom fighters out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. All-around libertarian aficionados, mothers, working class heroes, and all-around patriots. Today we'll be discussing the politics of Canada and all other BS that's gone with the COVID issue, political issues, financial, social, gender balances, all the other good stuff. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Tammy and Tiffany, welcome.
Hi. Thanks for having us. I'm Tammy. Tiffany here. I know it says Tammy, Tiffany there, but this is Tammy here, Tiffany here.
Tammy there. Follow my cursor, Tammy, and then Tiffany. Great. Right. So what basically inspired you ladies to get into the freedom movement, especially all the rallies in Calgary that have happened the past year?
Well, I think I started rallying a little bit before Tiff did. Yeah. I was just inspired by mostly COVID. COVID came up and that woke me up to a whole bunch of other corruption. And, once my eyes were open, you can't really go back to shutting them. You can't shut them. Once you're awake and it's time to take action. And for me, I got children and stuff. So I was not, I'm kind of like an all or nothing kind of girl. So I said, this crap is not going down on my watch, and I'm not gonna sit here on my couch and just watch the news and pretend everything's okay. So I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna start doing something. So I was out there rallying about 3 times a week. Started off with Unify the People in Calgary because they were the only ones that were really doing anything with the yellow vests movement, and we got out there and started with those. I did with those guys, and that's when I came across Tiffany. And we weren't really close at first. We didn't really. We didn't really know each other. We didn't really know each other, and you didn't really show up till summer or whatever. But from there, we came across Brad Kerrigan, he kind of had the concept for the Walk for Freedom, and it made sense. And we started going to those rallies and working with him. And now we've got this huge movement that's really inspiring all of Canada.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see that. Yeah, I see that around Canada-wide, big time. Every major city is doing a rally one way or the other. And of course, authorities are handing out tickets like candy.
Yeah, we've got a couple of those. We call them our golden tickets because they actually have put us in a new arena where we've went from standing on street side to into the public courthouse where we need to be, because a good portion of this battle is happening in the courthouse and needs to happen in the courthouse because we have some serious errors in the courthouse that need to be corrected. So
the whole system.
And we're working with in the common law concept of bringing the truth forward about who we really are as men and women, and that we are not actually a fictional entity. And so I think that's very important knowledge that a lot of men and women have no concept of. They don't realize that they've been born into a slave system. And so that's more valuable information that we can be putting out there. So we're really pushing that information out there as well. And so we use the rallies to capitalize on that.
Yeah. And I was a digital warrior for couple of years there. Kind of had my own awakening experience back in 2012. So keyboard warrior. And then once COVID happened, that's when I was like, I need to get out there, boots on the ground and do more than what I'm doing. So that's when I met Tammy, and then we just clicked and got along great. But like she's saying, I think the biggest eye opener is for people to, awaken. I think it's something that goes on forever. It's not just like, I'm awake. It keeps going. You keep learning, you keep growing, but learning who you are is the biggest thing, and learning who you're not. Once you know who you're not and who you are, that's when you're you can see everything clearer. You're not like in it. You're not in the system. You're actually looking at it from sort of like behind, you can see everything more clear.
Exactly. Rather be awake than to be woke.
Yeah. I don't like that word.
Or aware.
That's just lazy English as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I'm so woke.
I'm woke.
Yeah. No, I prefer awakening because let's be real. This shift never ends.
Or aware. Yeah. Or we're aware. We're aware.
Yeah.
We're conscious.
You can say, or getting more aware, or being, more inclusive to what's going on.
Thinker. We're not just going along with the narrative and just some
asking questions all the time about everything.
And we question things, and we discernment too, because a lot of the information that we take in too, it's hard to know if it's correct or because it is also a lot of it's so digital, right? So it's for me, I find a big portion of it is discernment, like having the time to really think about, take that information, sleep on it, and have discernment. And eventually, when you're going inside, you find the truth. That's where the truth is. It's inside of us, not out there.
Opinion. It's like a knowing inside of you.
Yeah.
So basically, gut instinct. Your gut's telling you something.
Yes.
Really. Absolutely. I agree entirely. Some of the debates I've had with some strangers, whether they're just be bots or SJWs or maybe some political bigwigs, I don't know. You never know with the digital world, per se.
Well,
sorry?
And some of this is a spiritual awakening as well. Like,
true.
Yeah.
A few of my friends have gone to religion because of some of their awakenings. And okay, that's fine. Yeah. I'm not a Christian. I guess you can say legally I was baptized as an infant, but I don't practice any faith. But I'm not condemning anybody who does practice a certain faith. I don't care if you're Jewish. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if you're Buddhist. I don't care if you worship a bag of lemons or dance with monkeys in the sunshine. Knock yourself out. But it's a matter of connecting to humanity too. Now, we're all guilty one way or the other of saying bad words, but it's a matter of showing common courtesy and kindness to the best of your ability. Every little gesture, from holding a door open for somebody or helping someone with groceries, or like I've been saying in my episodes, shovel a bit of snow for your neighbors, help this out. Little bits and pieces add up. We can't always walk around figuratively like the notional Jesus Christ figure or the notional Muhammad or the notional Moses and try to bring prosperity. We have to start bringing prosperity to ourselves as people. And then the choices we make, we have to live with. I too am a patriot. I love my nation, but I don't care how people live their lives. Do it well. Just don't hit people, take their stuff. Simple thing. Fair taxes, proper justice. I don't believe in this race baiting hoodub they keep throwing around on television, TV commercials. And I'm sure you ladies have experienced that too, especially with all the freedom marches happening in Calgary and everyone's favorite mayor, Nenshi. Yeah. Please give my audience an insight too, what you've experienced on your freedom marches. Some of the ridiculous things people have said to you while you've been protesting.
I
you can swear too. I don't mind if you swear.
No, you know what? I would not want to disrespect you or your audience. Would you, Tiff? No, I'll keep it clear.
I might by accident though.
If it's an accident, if it's in the heat of the moment, then sure. But as far as I would say, for the most part, at the rallies, that's the only time that we're experiencing any sort of normalcy. Like, that's when I experience normalcy. Like, when I'm at the rallies or we're at the rallies and we're doing a thing, the people that show up there are normal people. Like, they show up, we all hugs, we're all happy, we're loving, we're open, we connect. There's diversity. Everybody's different. So you're having like all different races. And, even like you said, you've watched Rebel News have come out and they've covered the different types of people that are showing up at these rallies. And they're just like, we've never seen anything like it. There's all these there's the hippies, there's the corporate, you're just getting doctors and you're getting, older and young, and you're just getting all these different ethnicities and people. So it's really cool, the people that are showing up and the connections that we're having. And we don't really get bothered too much by, say onlookers or naysayers. Recently, we've had some interactions with Antifa and the Black Lives Matters movement ever since we had that rally in Edmonton, because Edmonton's a different type of city than Calgary. So when we went to Edmonton, we kind of clashed. Even the police are different there. So the police in Calgary, we've built a relationship with them. Every single rally that we have, we put on our we support our police. And we've built relationships with the police, and they know that we're peaceful and that we respect them, and we're just exercising our rights to assemble peacefully, and we're just exposing the corruption, and we have a right to do so. And so that's, they're there protecting our rights, and that's what they're there to do. That's what the police are there to do. Their only job is to enforce policy and the peace. So unless we're breaking the peace, then there should be no reason for them to interfere. And so for the most part, they don't.
Well, they don't. I've seen, we've had a couple people yell, while we're marching or whatever. You guys are stupid and stuff like that. But I think the majority of people, it's not really when we're at the rallies. It's just in our lives, right? Mm-hmm. Like our family and our friends. And I know for myself, I don't really, most of my family doesn't talk to me anymore. So
really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I'm a white supremacist. I'm a homophobe. I'm a
super spreader.
I'm just like the plague. I mean, everything.
You're
really.
You're
not to belittle your experience, but I'm just guffawed. Like, wow, really? Like for your
Yeah.
own personal family, like your
Oh
brothers,
yeah.
sisters, cousins.
I had my family try to do an intervention on me last summer, like a real intervention, but it was in regards to my mental health, saying that I need to wake up, that I'm brainwashed, there's something wrong with me, you know, and all of them against me, attacking me.
Because you wouldn't believe that
because I was against it right from the start. I knew this was it. I knew it was it. And I knew it was false. I knew it was, not saying that there's not a virus, but, or, you know, people aren't getting sick, but I knew that this was all bullshit.
Well, you swore.
Sorry.
And
he's okay. He swears sometimes too, right? It's okay.
Oh, I dropped the odd F-bomb or two.
Okay. Okay there.
You can say fudge instead of the other one. That's fine.
Holy fudge. So the only other time I think that we had when we did the Suit Up Canada, like a couple mall rallies. So we had a mall rally with the Walk for Freedom and we were in the mall. And that was weird because it was like, we were like,
circus animals.
It was like, yeah, it was like the circus coming through the mall and the people staring at us with their masks on. And they were just like what is, and we're looking at them and they're looking at us and we have these eyes. We're all just like, we're both just looking at each other like, what?
All doing the old.
Like we're both like, I was going to do this. Yeah. Okay. I can't see it. We're all like doing this to like, what is wrong with you? And they're like, what is wrong with you? And so we're just like at this crossroads where we're just like,
you know, we're getting videoed and it felt like I felt really out of place there. It was awkward. Felt like we were like circus animals being watched, videoed, and mocked and just like stared at, pointed at. Everyone was lined up like along the, you know, the walls while we're walking through the mall.
Well, and you experience it every time you go into the grocery store. Like you go in the grocery store and you're just like, oh, here we go again, you know. And but you know what? When you realize that it's our duty and obligation to stand up every single time we have the opportunity, and no matter how difficult it is, because for us to just say, oh, what are we going to do? Just all of a sudden turn around and be like, oh, okay, I give up and start wearing a mask. No, I'm never going to be like that. I'm always going to be the firecracker and Tiff too. Like we're going to be, you know, defying it at every opportunity. And every time we get a chance to pull our camera out and video something like that, then it's just more exposure. And plus we're also inspiration. Like I've been in stores where someone all of a sudden take their mask off. They'll come to me and be like, did you get into trouble not having your mask? I'm like, nobody can administrate property without rights. Number one. So I'm like that kind of girl, right? I'm like, nobody can administrate a mask on me without my consent. And even in the law, in the bylaw, it says that there are exemptions. So these building policies and these policies that they're trying to say, are they above the law? Mm-hmm. When you have a building or this is the building's policy. So you're trying to say you're above the law. Because the law specifically says that there are exemptions and you're not honoring the law. So at that point, you should be able to call the police and file harassment or discrimination right there. But
exactly, rather than the police filing harassment against you based on the owner's behalf or based on the appointed medical official's behalf. That I like to remind my audience too that a lot of these medical officials, I'm not questioning their credibility in the world of medicine. But when it comes to administration and making laws, as far as I know, that's none of their jurisdiction. They can recommend and promote healthy living. They do when it comes to smoking or drinking. That's fine, you know. But I wear the mask just to avoid the BS because I want to go do my business, carry on. That's it. Mm-hmm. Once I'm outside, it's off. I'm out of here. That's it.
Well, and that's the thing is even everyone calls us anti-maskers, but that's not what we are. We're anti-restrictionists. We're pro-freedom. You know, you want to wear a mask, but don't make me wear one because I'm not sick. I don't feel the need to wear one and I won't wear one. If you want to wear one, that's fine. I'm not going to cause any problems in the store. You know what I mean? But it's sad how it's the people that don't wear one get attacked for not wearing one. And that's where it's, you know, it should be the freedom of choice. You want to wear one. You don't, then don't.
Yeah.
Well, and then that if it was that way, then somebody that doesn't want to wear a mask like yourself, like you don't want to wear a mask. You're just wearing it for the ease.
Like most people, well, like a lot
to
of
make
people.
It easy, right? So it's just like, so this is where the line, this is where we're at that point where the people that don't want to wear a mask, those are the people that should be inspired by the people that aren't wearing a mask and standing with them and saying, okay, you know what? More of us need to say no. We need to say no because that's how we fight back. Because if we just go in and do it just because and it makes it easier, then that makes it twice as hard for the people that are actually standing up and saying no. right? So I would
civil
encourage
disobedience is necessary in times like this when, the government, what they're doing isn't looking out for our safety and they don't have our best interests at heart. So I think, standing up, civil disobedience in any way, whether it's, not wearing a mask or, keeping your business open, things like that. We have to be doing that, or else basically we're just getting dragged down,
Well, the goal is to dehumanize and depopulize. Like that's where we're heading. That's exactly what the whole agenda is. It's not.
I would agree to that. It's getting to the point where we contain more people to tell them how to live, what to do. One of the running jokes I have in my podcast is, join the Liberal Party today. We'll tell you when to pick your nose, when to wipe, when to dance, all that good stuff. Put my alien voice on, and we go from there. So,
well, there's no way. There's absolutely no way that you can give away your freedom to gain it back.
That's just not the way it works.
Because you don't give away your freedom to get it back. That's not what freedom is. Not given. Yeah. Right. So if we want our freedom, every single one of us is responsible individually for our own freedom. And so if we require a babysitter, then we're going to have a babysitter. So if we're going to act like children, then we're going to get treated like children. So we need to start acting like men and women and standing up for our rights and our freedoms and saying, no, we're not taking this anymore. Because until every single one of us stand up, they're going to keep doing what they're doing.
Because I agree. I guess, like I said, I'm not trying to make light of the anti-maskers or maskers in general. The thing being, where my lifestyle is, I like their freedom. I want people to have the freedom too. And the work UT leaders are doing are phenomenal. Like I said, I've seen you on Rebel. Well done.
Thank you.
But what basically inspires you, though, to really get into these rallies? Is it love for nation, love for your family or friends, or all of the above?
All of the above.
All the above.
And passion. I think we both are really, really, really passionate about it. About, community and connection and unity and freedom and just the whole movement. I think if you have that burning passion inside of you, that's all you really need.
Yeah. And I feel like, all of us that are doing the work we're doing right now, we are essentially living in a time where we are making history. What we are doing is we are chosen for this. So I feel just called. I feel like I'm on my path and I'm supposed to, and I do it out of love. I do labor of love for we the people. And I also do it because of my children. I'm not going to, leave them in this world or have them try to fend for themselves. Because I think about what would they think if I did nothing? Like, obviously I'm going to fight tooth and nail every single day to my last breath to change what's happening on this earth. And I don't sleep. Like, I literally work every single day relentlessly. When you find out where it goes to the depth of where the corruption goes to, and you find out about the human trafficking, and it's sick. It goes on and on and on. And so you get to a point where you just go, okay, I'm not going to stop until this changes, because I'm here on earth at this time, and I will give my entire life to this purpose, because going forward, mankind we don't need a revolution. We need a resolution. We need a change so this doesn't happen again and again. And that's why the truth of who we really are needs to come forth at this time, because so many of us are so indoctrinated and so brainwashed that we don't even know what's up and what's down, what's wrong, what's right anymore. Because what they're pushing all this wrong crap at us, and people are like going along with it like it's right, like the vaccines and the and the gender ideology and all that stuff that they're teaching, and how what they're doing to us as a race, as a species, like not just the division, like what you're saying, the religion, like they use all this stuff to continuously divide us. And we need to now wake up to the fact that we are all one. We are all one collective consciousness. We were born on this earth to roam freely. We don't owe the government. The government works for us, not the other way around. So when we start to realize that this is not about acquiescing to this kind of crap, it's about saying, hey, I'm not going to take this anymore. And as long as I'm alive, I'm going to stand up for my rights and my freedoms, and I'm going to inspire other people to do the same thing. And I expect it. I don't just say, well, do you want to stand up for your rights and freedoms? I'm like, no, get off your ash
Get off your buttocks and do something about it.
And do something, right? Like, do something. Don't just sit there and be like, well, somebody else is going to do it for us. No, if you sit there, they're going to be knocking on your door and taking you to the COVID camps or doing things with you, administrating against you because you didn't have the balls to stand up when the time was there. And that's what it's about right now. It's not waiting for somebody else to do it for you. Be your own hero, be your own leader.
And I think another
well said.
Another very well said. And another good point is a lot, there are some people that think, it is what it is and there's nothing we can do about it. So they just accept.
I've heard that quite a bit too.
Me too. And that's so
it is what it is. It is what it is. And
it is what it is.
It's so wrong because if we all thought that way, then it would be what it is. But that's the thing about creating creating our lives and creating our reality and creating our world is that we aren't just saying it is what it is. We know that it can be better.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
If we all knew that and, and we're together in unity, we could create better. But if majority is not doing anything and then you have these, the minority, standing up and doing something and then being attacked for it, then, it just doesn't make any sense really. But here we are.
Well, it's understandable. Well, Victor Lamont says, I've been a black sheep in my family too, so it's sad but not good, but I can't change the lies that are harming us. And true, the lies are harming us.
Yeah.
My personal physician, I asked him questions in regards to respiratory infections, what can happen, and he verified to me, in not so many words, that the masks that they issue at every shop or every store, those so-called dust masks they give you, they're ineffective for a very good reason, because it all depends on your personal hygiene. It depends on what you do that day. It depends on if you're a smoker. It depends if you've actually had breathing problems before. So there's all these factors get in here. And plus, basically, you're not fully exhaling and you're not fully inhaling. So you're denying yourself the basic oxygen. And okay, I'm a smoker, so I shouldn't be smoking. But in the same sense, I'm not walking around with a cigarette in my face in every public store. But then I have to put a mask on. It's like, God, again? And then they try to encourage that in gymnasiums too. So they want people to be fit and happy and healthy. But then you're limiting people's options when it comes to working out, when it comes to being together with people. And they haven't proven that you get this infection from a gym, or you get it from a restaurant, or you get it from waiting for a bus or protesting.
That's, to me, that's the perfect opportunity to say no. That would be my opportunity to be like, no. And so we need, as a society, need to learn to say no. Like, we've been taught, we're Canadians, let's be polite, listen. No, it's no. It's just straight up no. You're not going to, my oxygen to my well-being is essential. I need oxygen, and I'm not going to deprive myself of that. So that's just my personal opinion. That's what I'm going to, and I'll never acquiesce to putting that on. And I mean, each to their own, but that's where we're at a point where we have to stand up and say no. We have to be able to take our power back. We have to be able to, require that of others at this point, because if everybody continues just doing it, then we'll never make any progress.
We have to be the change,
and that's just, and we are the change.
Yes,
and that's,
we are. And go ahead. I have a little story about
tell the story.
So in regards to the mask wearing, so my daughter and I have never ever once worn a mask except for when my stepdad was in the hospital to say goodbye, because that wasn't going to cause a big deal. So we put it on to go say goodbye. But she was in dance. And recently, after they closed down the dance studios, they reopened them back up. But they had tighter restrictions. And that's what they've been doing this whole time. Lockdown 1, they reopen, and then everything gets tighter and tighter, and they sneak in these other little things. So what they did is they made it so that not only did you have to wear a mask inside this dance studio, but they're making them wear them while they're dancing. So once I found that out, I said, nope, that's not happening. I'm not going to make my daughter wear a mask while she's dancing. So they had this recital that planned for outdoors at a park where all the parents get to line up in their cars and watch from their vehicles their children dance outside with masks.
That is,
yeah,
wow.
it's disgusting. So I pulled her right out. I talked with the owner. She gave me a little bit of money back. I was going to make a big deal about it, but then she agreed to give me some money back, and then I just left it at that. But it's just really sad. Like I honestly, I consider it child abuse to mask up children.
I would agree.
You're working out, they're breathing heavily. They're exercising. You're going to put a mask and cover their face. And that's okay for some parents to do that, which is really sad.
Well, let's talk about this because, I mean, a lot of people think there is a virus, but the virus itself, like SARS-CoV-19, has never been isolated in humans. It has not, to this day, been proven to even exist. So if you want to talk about illusion, deception, and even the guy who made the PCR test himself, he says this PCR test does not test for a virus. So why are we testing for a virus with a test that does not test for a virus? Hello? Like,
word salad. Here's a bread and here's a circus for you. Just in case, because they're doing this for your safety.
Yeah.
We're like, well, what did they, where else have we heard that before? So we just look at history. It's repeating itself. We got to get to the point where we clue in and there's a bigger picture. We're watching a show. There's puppets that are being used to the circus. And they're the distraction because we spend our time watching the puppets when we really need to say, okay, who's controlling the puppets? Like, who's controlling the media? The media is the monster. The media is the one that is spreading this propaganda. They're the ones that are coming out. That's why we always say #counter fake news. We're constantly #counter fake news. We do that at our rallies. We tell everybody that it's a rally, pull your phone out and document our peaceful rally and put it out there, #counter fake news, so that the fake.
And Rebel has done that for you. I've seen that the footage. Rebel has done a great job doing that.
Yeah, they're
even
awesome.
TNC, even Daniel Boardman, Aaron Gunn, and a few other independent guys that pop up my feed once in a while, just doing an honest to God, great job saying, okay, here's the demonstration. Basically, here's my cell phone looking around. Yeah, there's no violence. There's no racial divide. There's no misogyny.
It's the opposite.
People. Yeah, it's like, look, we've had enough. We're doing this. We're doing it peacefully. Like I've said in my show, though, the last thing I want to see is something turn violent. See, that's what I fear, too. Because a lot of these tactics and gestures that I've seen via the media, government officials, whoever's in charge, the administration, it's leading up to something.
Yeah.
And that's a very, very fine line, whether it's, if you're protesting or if I join a protest, someone's going to throw a brick or someone's going to throw a Molotov or someone's going to do something. And then what? Are you going to incorporate a curfew? Well, then if you incorporate a big ass curfew, you're going to have more dissent. If you incorporate more of these rules, you're going to have a bigger problem with dissent because people want to go about mind their business. Someone might get misinterpreted doing something here, someone there. All of a sudden, someone gets shot. Oh, wow. Now what? Oh, my God. Look what happened down in the States with the whole BLM movement.
Well, that's why you have to strategize. Like, you have to have a strategy, you have to have a plan going in. So if our plan from the beginning was, when Brad first came out with the concept of Walk for Freedom and the flyers that we were putting out in the beginning, we always said we support our police and we started a relationship with the police. And the one time that we did have Antifa there, boy, let me tell you, they had a border between Antifa and us, a thick border. Like, it was like there was going to be their eyes were on Antifa, not us. They weren't watching us. They were watching Antifa. So the thing is we always tell everybody our rallies are peaceful, come out. And if there is any violence, it's easy to see who's doing it because it's right away identified. And it's just like, it'll be shut down immediately because that's the way we've arranged our rallies to be. So if it's in other areas, I can't speak for them, but we've had this is going on our 22nd or 23rd peaceful rally that we've had so far. So we have consistent peaceful rallies and it's by design. I would encourage anybody that's doing a rally to speak to the police officers or they're around the rallies and build that relationship with them, a rapport there saying, this is we're concerned about you. We're standing up for you and your family and your rights. And what are you going to do when they force you to vaccinate? And what are they going to do? So we start to try to talk to them man to man, woman to man with, try to touch their humanity, like find their humanity there saying, like there's going to be a day where you're going to have to decide what side you're on. And then every time we have their personal contacts too. So every time there's like a video in another country where police are like dropping their handcuffs or standing down and they're joining the people, we always send it to them. And sometimes I get a reply back, is this a challenge? Yeah, it is. Like, so we push the limits. We keep doing what we're doing. We keep encouraging people to stand up and once you realize that that we are collectively the creators of our future. We will decide collectively how that future is going to look. And we have never experienced true freedom. Like a lot of people think that we're free now. They don't even realize that we're all in a cage, right? Mm-hmm. So what we need to do now, because 2020 was like the year of perfect vision, where everybody got to see what the real truth was coming out. And now year 2021, I think, is more about creating what the new world's going to look like. Because once the old world collapses, then we're going to have to replace it with something new. Mm-hmm. So we should really be focusing on how to be resilient, how to take care of ourselves, how, not relying on the government, getting back to like sustainability and like, growing a garden and, working with your neighbors and building community. And, mm-hmm. and these are the things that are needed right now at this time. And like you said, helping your neighbors and really focus on building that community. Like I've made more friends in this movement, real people, than I've had my entire life. And so I feel like that's where we're getting back to the humanity side of things, where we are, coming together and really leading our lives through our heart and not being so, intellectual about everything. Like we're really going, connecting with
egos aside,
where we're supposed to be going. Right. And that's where that's what we should be focusing on right now, is not the division, but the solutions, right? So we got to focus on the solutions. What can we create that's new? Because what we have to do at this point is create something new.
Yes, because the system failure. Everything's breaking.
Yeah. It's collapsing. Whole adage, the old school mentality where if it ain't broke, well, let's try to fix it anyway. And my last episode, I made a point of saying, okay, maybe we should wean ourselves off fossil fuels, but what alternatives do we have? Electric cars. Well, great. What runs those generators that charge those batteries in electric cars? Mm-hmm. It's not pixie farts. It's not fairy dust. It's diesel fuel. Where does diesel come from? Oh, oil sands. Go figure. What a novel concept. Right. And I know for a fact that Alberta's standards when it comes to producing fossil fuels is probably the cleanest in the world, next to a few companies in Texas, and I think one in California, I believe. But then if you've seen the oil fields in California, the oil sands looks like effing paradise, really. So when people talk about new solutions, new ideas, bring them to the table. Well, if we're paying a carbon tax, okay, where's the solutions to back it up? Where's the information to do that?
It's a fear-based. It's the whole concept's based in fear. So they use the fear as tactic of control. So they
oh my God, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, they put the whole concept of all the control of the sheep or all of us is fear. Fear, mm-hmm. fear. Like, how do they herd the sheep around? Okay, they got the dog barking. So we get this barking, you get this noise over here that's keeping us, we're scared to do this, we're scared to do that. We just stay at home, stay safe. So that's what we're getting to the point where it's about, you can't be about fear. You have to be in faith. You have to be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to live my life the way I choose. I'm going to self-govern. And if anybody's going to try to stop me, then we're going to have a problem, because when you're born free. I'm not born with any paperwork attached to me. I'm not born with any rules attached to me. I'm born to be free. And so that's where we're the concept of where we're at. We're at the point where, who are we? Who are we? Why are we here? Are we here to be slaved? Are we here to live this life? Are we here to be controlled? No, we're not. We're here to live freely. And that's where we're at this point. That's what I feel like. I feel like that's the message that needs to come out. We need to have an entire redo, a re-over, where we get to the point where we realize that we are not supposed to be in the slave system. And once we can open our eyes to the fact that we're not our birth certificate, we're not our driver's license, we're not this paperwork and this legal fiction, we really will have that light bulb, right? For me, where I found out all that information, and Tiffany too, was Christopher James. I know we were talking about him earlier before the show, but he's got a website, warriorcalls.com. And if you go there, that just teaches the simple, basic foundation, common law concept that we could all be, learning about. And once enough of us learn about this information and start applying it, then we are now the change that we want to see, right? We become the solution.
Yeah, he's got one really good video, Trespass Against a Man's Mind, and it basically breaks down from birth, once you are born, and then they attach that birth certificate to you, with the CUSIT number on the back, that red number that's on the back of the birth certificate. That is basically your stock number. that's when you become stock. So that's
chattel,
and that's like, if you go back and like, that's just the beginning. That's the beginning of where it all begins. So it's really, really good information. So yeah.
Well, definitely have to look at that for sure. Definitely look at it for sure. Just got to do an advert there, ladies. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you see and hear, please click like and subscribe. Share this around. Get the algorithm going. My guests today are Tiffany and Tammy, freedom fighters, Canadian patriots, mothers, and concerned citizens. You can find them at their email, scrolling at the bottom of the screen, tntsoulsisters@gmail.com. Feel free to ask them anything you'd like to know, even on today's show, by all means. Just keep the questions clean, ladies and gentlemen. I tried to make sure this is a decent show. I don't care if you drop the odd F-bomb or C-bomb. Just keep it realistic. For my guests there, just, cover your ears if you hear something you don't like, but I'll try to be as polite as always. And if you feel like donating, please donate to crustycanuck.ca. You can find my PayPal link and my Buy Me a Coffee link there too. Any donation will do. Keep an eye on my community page on YouTube, as well as my Facebook page for updates. And if you do feel like donating on a regular basis, please consider today. I like to make this a full-time commitment. So it takes viewers and listeners such as yourself, my great audience out there, to make it happen. Because I don't want to do OnlyFans and have to show off my knees to make some extra money. So scary stuff, interesting. I heard, I got a few emails from some friends of mine there the other day saying they had neighbors and stuff in regards to what they do in OnlyFans. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no biggie. And I just kind of shook my head. So question in regards to that, do you think a lot of the online activity, especially today's day and age with all the information that's out there for all of us, okay, do you think a lot of the big tech censorship has gone really too far?
Oh yeah, way too far.
Oh yeah, I've lost.
We're on
eighth
Facebook account
of hers. I refuse. I went off. Well, I'm on it now because we're a team now. We were Tammy Tiffany. Now we're Tiffany Tammy. But I had a Facebook account. They removed my account. I had another account. They removed it. I'm off of Telegram. I'm banned on Instagram. I'm off. YouTube. Oh no, I'm on Telegram. Sorry, not Telegram. I'm off of Instagram. They removed me. YouTube, I'm banned for posts. So yeah, it's insane. Mm-hmm. It's insane. It's disgusting. So we need to support the channels that are offering, free speech, right? We need to go ahead, BitChute and other channels that you can put your information on. You know that it's not going to get removed, right? So this is what we all need to do. And like, I've got a YouTube account. I'm done. I'm off of YouTube. I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to support them anymore. I don't care if you get more exposure there for the time being, because that's short-lived, right? Because eventually they're going to come crashing down and we're going to burn them. We're going to burn the stake.
Burn the witch. Burn her. She's a witch. Yes.
We're done with the big tech. Well, did you see
I'm
that?
Cool that says he wants to see my crusty knees, maybe for some other time.
Another
a better pair of shorts, maybe, and better socks. That's for a different show. Save that for the comedy channel.
Late night show.
That's where I put on a wig and dance my life away because I have my interpretive dance diploma, right?
Ooh, that's cute.
Yeah. Mr. M, or is it Ms. M? Just M. We have to break this false illusion of security. The masses are being fed with repetitive mind control. This hive mind mentality, freedom is ours, Canada is the land of the free, God bless. Well said, Mr. M. I concur, especially after watching some of the recent award shows lately and what is considered talent and art compared to what the music you grew up with and what I grew up with.
Well, and in Canada, too, we have a serious issue because Canada is actually a country without a constitution. We have what is called the Constitution Act, which is not a constitution. It's an act that corporations made up to govern corporations. And Canada itself is actually not a country. We're a registered corporation in Washington, D.C. So when you start to learn this information, you can learn this information. Doug Forrest, I don't know if you know who he is. He'd be a great guy to have on the show. The Myth is Canada. So
okay.
He's out there talking about land patents and allodial titles and just really breaking the myths of like what Canada really is, because we all think that we're living in this country. We're just a registered corporation, and our constitution is just an act.
And the government is also just a corporation, right?
Well,
part of the corporation.
Yeah, the government is a service corporation for we the people, but they're certainly not acting like it. They're trying to, like if you had the service corporation McDonald's call you up and say, we require that you wear a mask or that you do this or you pay us that, you'd just be like, what? Not today. No thanks. So that's where we are in society is we're giving the government way too much power by the only power they have is the power we give them. And that's where we're at too. Exactly that is they don't have any power unless we give it to them. So once we wake up and say, hey, we're doing this to ourselves. Like we are.
We have been this whole time unknowingly, but we've done it to ourselves.
And that's what makes it so hard because it's like, how do you break this cycle? I mean, I inspire myself, which I don't want to toot my own horn, but I do inspire myself because I woke up. I was like, before COVID, I was just, one of the regular same old, watching TV, had no clue I was being indoctrinated or programmed or brainwashed. I had no clue. And then all of a sudden COVID hit and woke me up. And that was a blessing. So I think a lot of people now, I slowly but surely, more and more people are starting to say, this is really affecting me. What's really going on here?
Yeah,
asking questions. And like you've had that experience too, where people that were one way have now flipped and they're a different way, right? So there is hope. There is faith and hope.
I agree. There is quite a bit of alternative thoughts out there. People that I used to hang out with that were definitely staunch liberal are starting to wake up to more the libertarian kind of conservative idea, and not conservative as in the traditional, hello, I'm Brian Mulroney, conservative. Conservative is like, okay, this is my money, it's not yours. Leave me the F alone. Okay, this is my land. Leave me the F alone. This is something I've worked for. Why are your hands in it? That basic conservative mentality where they want to conserve the water, they want to conserve the environment, and still use it as per, but conserve it in reasonable means. We can suffice this country on our fossil fuels for a very, very long time. To me, there's no excuse in regards to why we can't process it. But like you ladies mentioned in regards to corporations, how many of these corporations have their hands involved in those resources? We know that the Tide/Make Way Foundation, that was a big Bernie supporter, or Joe Biden supporter, anything on the Democratic model of the United States Democratic Party has its hand in Canadian resources, not to mention the Chinese investments that go way back to Pierre Trudeau, Mulroney, Chrétien, Martin, and Harper too, who have taken a piece here, taken a piece there. And now we're sitting in a $4.5 billion pipeline that is yet to be finished or completed. And they're just taking their sweet time.
Well, the problem is we got a de facto government. It's a de facto government. It doesn't matter if you're liberal or conservative. It doesn't matter. You vote. You're still voting for a de facto government.
Yeah. Same. It's like the
it's more the division
of the same bird.
Exactly. It's more the division. So we're sitting there fighting.
The same coin. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why we got to get over the fact of you're a conservative. No, I'm a humanitarian and I want to live peacefully on earth. So we got to get to the point where the division, the countries, all the division, the Alberta, BC, like it's just divide. Like even in our province, we have a province of Alberta. They try to pit Calgary against Edmonton. They're always trying to put us against each other, right? And we just got to stop saying no. There is nothing dividing us. We are all one. We are the people of the planet Earth, and start thinking as a whole and stop the division. And in Canada, with the de facto government, we need to just have one government if we choose. We need to have one government where we elect you based on your performance. So you're performing. If you're performing well, you get to keep your position. If you're not performing based on we the people's observation or how you're working for us, then we replace you. And that's simple.
Even that proposed recall legislation that Kenny just put up there yesterday, it looks great on paper, but we have to see if it's going to work out or not too.
Kenny should just resign.
I would agree, but I would have to honestly say I think he's done a bit more than what Doug Ford has done.
For sure.
I would understand the restrictions in this province are ridiculous, in any province for that matter. But I find being in Alberta, there's a little more leniency to common sense than there has been in a very long time since this thing happened. I don't agree with paying these top doctors $300,000 a year to tell you or me to put a mask on. I want to see them practice medicine again. Well, Dr. Tam's, all the Dr. Tam aficionados, as far as I'm concerned, they can go take a flying leap, where. But this whole pandemic has done nothing. And you ladies nailed in the head too when it comes to division. I've noticed that as well. too. Division within families, within marriages. Think of the opioid use that has gone up. Think of the drug use has gone up. The domestic situations that have gone up, and not just a man beating up his wife. You're finding more and more wives beating up their men too. So it's not a new thing, but well, without trying to sound like a moron, gone full retard, to quote Robert Downey Jr. It has.
Yeah. The indoctrination's coming from the top, from the very top. Like, it's almost like the more educated you are, the more indoctrinated you are, because it's even coming in the medical society. It's the school systems, it's the police, it's the medical, it's every single industry, and every single aspect of what we're being taught is coming from the top down and being fed through the system from the top all the way down. So even like you're saying, you'd like to see the doctors start practicing medicine. Well, they don't teach nutrition. When you become a doctor, they don't teach you about nutrition. They talked about nutrition for like 2 hours. The rest of it's all radiation. They teach all these other things like the old school medicine, right? Wartime medicine. And we've evolved way past that. Like the technology that's being kept from us and being suppressed from us. There's technology out there that exists to cure every single disease, to cure, these diseases are man-made
and
like
natural.
And all natural,
right? Natural medicine.
Everything that we require is at our fingertips. We just get in the way of it.
Why can they emphasize on natural medicines? They've recently let marijuana be roaming flame, letting free. And I suffer from PTSD. I have a stash that I received, privately. That's come in handy. There's people I know in my circle that use that on a medical basis, and they love it. And they just recently okayed it since 2017. They knew the effects of it during the Vietnam War, after the Vietnam War, especially tests they've done in the 70s when it comes to calming cancer patients and people with terminal illnesses. Now they just recently okayed it because now they can get the government monopoly out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. But then their quality is terrible. Government-sponsored weed or Joe Blow down the road that grows it every fall. I'm going to take Joe Blow's.
Well, that's just another tax thing too. They just, they just made it legal so that they can tax it.
Oh, exactly.
They can alter it so it doesn't work. Yeah. Like they want to affect it. They want to be able to affect it, right? So, the chemtrails, the GMOs, like it's just, and every angle, every aspect, they're poking us, prodded, and constantly being, they're trying to depopulize us. Like that's what the whole goal is for depopulation. And so when we start to hello, how many times do you have to get your head, bang your head on the wall to figure that out? Or that's where we're at.
Well, just like at Bill Gates, where is his hands in? They're everywhere.
He's so many hands. He's an octopus. Right?
He's too touchy-feely for my liking.
I know, he's way too touchy-feely, but that's exactly what it is. There's so much corruption and evil, satanic stuff happening on the earth that it's happening to us, and we're just so oblivious to it as a collective. And that's what's so fresh. That's the part that I find so frustrating, because we constantly try to brainstorm, okay, what can we do? What's the next thing that we could do that's going to have an impact? Where is our efforts most, have the biggest impact, right? So we're always trying to brainstorm and think, okay, like what can we do now? Like how do we get the media? How do we get this? How do we, so we're always kind of figuring out like what angle do we take? And so just even what you're doing there here and having a podcast and exposing the truth and putting information out, we need more people doing this. And, being supported, and you being supported in what you're doing, because you're putting the truth out there. You're empowering people that are standing up, and you're spending your time trying to make a difference. And that's what we need, is more people that are trying to make a difference. They're doing something. They're not just saying, oh, well, it is what it is. They're actually taking.
I get tired of hearing that too sometimes.
Yeah.
It's what it is. Whatever.
Well, and we are the news now. Like that's what it is. We are the news now. We are sick and tired of being lied to. So let's start putting the truth out there and exposing them, and continuously prop each other up. When we start connect with each other and help each other and rise, when I see somebody that's doing the right thing, I support that individual, right?
Exactly.
And that's what it is. You say, okay, you're doing the right thing, then I'm going to support you. And how can we support this individual? And then you find the ones that are most like-minded, and you go team, go, right? And that's what we need more people, is coming together, networking, get on Telegram, get on your social media platforms, find other people who are like-minded, start doing something, whether, even if it's small, even if it's just like a digital soldier online, or having a podcast, or,
even becoming a citizen journalist. Like we could all be citizen journalists. We
yeah,
all
when you think of it, yeah,
telling
really.
the truth of what's really happening.
Well, citizen. I don't know if we should like the word citizen.
Yeah.
Citizen, what are you doing? Where's your paper, citizen? No, but I know what exactly what you mean. Gabriel Shear says campaign promises should be legally binding contracts. I would agree. But then again, I would like to see more politicians get in the ring and say, I can't promise you this, but I'll fight for this and I will do this. It's one thing, every time I hear a politician say, I promise, it's like going back to a really bad teen movie where you promise to love each other forever. And then people grow up. Like, that's the thing. People grow up, things change. So do politicians. It's what's the old joke, the politicians like diapers, you got to change them frequently.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. My aspirations under the VCP banner, I like to run in my area for a seat in the federal government because I want to sit in Parliament and I want to point my finger at some of the stupid things that have been said to Canadian people, especially the past 5 years. I'd like to challenge the Prime Minister in regards to saying, what do you mean our system's racist? Have you looked in Parliament? Have you seen the diversity that lays at your feet? You're saying it's systematically racist? Yes, we've had our racial problems before. But I can assume that you ladies were not raised in a household where you judge people based on the color of the skin. You judge them based on their character. Same as myself, same as most of our generation as a whole. So when someone comes up to me and says, I'm oppressed, prove it.
Yeah.
Show me where you were denied a job based on this. Show me where you're denied the opportunity to go to school based on that. Show me the proof. We can fight this together. Get rid of these monstrosities that call administrators that hold you back from things. But just because you're not given something because you represent this group, that doesn't mean it's racist. It means you might have to work a bit harder to get there.
Yeah.
And then that's life. An example I can use is the fact that I've never been a mathematician. I could not stand mathematics to save my life. I hated it. I was into English, history. I liked woodshop. I liked drafting. I liked work with my hands. Something I could relate to. The power of y over 2. Who gives a shit? But if I wanted to make the grade, I had to work harder to do it. To make my passing grade, I had to make the 65 or 70% average there. Okay, I did it. Didn't come easy, but I still did it. I could have very well said, administration's unfair because I don't understand this, or the system sucks because I hate math.
Yeah.
No one cares. You got to work at it. And that's every individual's responsibility in this country. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Hispanic, brown, pink, whatever color you identify or however you identify. You might have to work a bit harder. And that's one of life's mysteries. I did it as a soldier and I'm still doing it as a husband. I might have to work a bit harder today to do this. So be it.
I think that's one of the problems also right now. It's like a huge problem is victimhood, right? In this society, no one's accountable, especially like the younger generations. There's no accountability. It's all victim. And if you're a victim, like you can never fix anything. You can't change anything if you're constantly saying, oh, poor me, everything's happening to me, poor me. You have to be accountable. And that's what we need more of too, is accountability.
I agree. Accountability. Well, like I say in my campaigns, I own my shed. I'm responsible. On my episodes, I make a point of saying that to my listeners. I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of that. But I'm not going to sit and cry in my oatmeal because I have white skin color. I'm not going to cry because this happened 20 years ago or 30 years ago. I'm not responsible for all those painful events that happened to a certain group of people. I'm responsible for what is here and now. I acknowledge it. I am not proud of that garbage that happened before, but I try to treat people with respect, courtesy, and dignity, regardless of their background. Right? So I think your mic's gone off there.
Sorry, we just had a little interruption, so we turned it off.
Oh, understood.
Yeah, and in regard to what you were just saying, it's
hello.
It's similar to that saying, where your focus goes, where your intention goes, that's where that's what's created. So if you're constantly focused on the past and the suppression and racism, the systemic racism, and all these things, and you're bringing them back up, you just keep bringing them back up. That's all that is being created. Because if it wasn't talked about all the time on the news and in our society, I don't think it would exist. There would be, I'm sure there would be certain instances, yes, but for the most part, we wouldn't even know about it.
It wouldn't exist, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. And there's this constant victimhood mentality. Linda Wanger, I must go. See you later Saturday. Love and victory of the light. Thank you for coming out, Linda. Much appreciated. Well, much appreciated.
Yeah, I think I know Linda.
Yeah, I think,
We know a lot of people in and around the city.
Yeah. From our
rallies, a lot of people are like, hey, girls, like, hey, oh, there's the Walk for Freedom girls.
Which is good. It's positive reinforcement. Sanico, we have the population of weak people in a throwaway and gimme culture.
Yeah.
I would agree entirely.
Culture. Yes. Let's talk about
It's all about me and my feelings. Please. I need my safe space. And to me, a safe space is your home. So.
Oh, I says our battery's about to die. Oh, Tiff. Plug us in, Tiff. We got the iPad or the iPad set up here.
Not a problem. I'll just get some more adverts in here. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you hear and see, my guests tonight are Tiffany and Tammy, freedom fighters out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Protesters, mothers, all around good patriots, and what I can tell, well-educated, well-involved individuals. If you want to get a hold of them, you can contact them by their email at the bottom of the screen, tntsoulsistas@gmail.com. If you like and hear what you see of what I'm doing, please consider going to crustycanuck.ca and donate, PayPal or the Buy Me Coffee app. Please, I like to make this job a full-time commitment. I'm expanding, but I need viewers and listeners such as yourself to get out there and donate. $2, $5 on a monthly basis or a lump sum. That's up to you, my viewers. And please pay attention. My English is screwed up today. Pay attention to my community page on YouTube and on Facebook, respectively, for updates on inquiries on kit, stuff, politics, and what I am working on. And please take a chance to answer the poll, too. I have my community page in regards to payment opportunities for myself and you, the viewer and listener alike. So carrying on with Tammy and Tiffany, or Tiffany and Tammy, however you want to go about it. Freedom fighters extraordinaire, mothers, and people that really just care about this country. We were discussing the whole gimme victimhood mentality. Help me, I'm abused, I'm a victim, please. So you want to carry on about that?
Yeah, we were discussing that. There's too much in it. There's too much of that. There's too many people just sitting, putting themselves on the back burner because they feel sorry for themselves. Like, it's not about feeling sorry for ourselves. We've been programmed to feel sorry for ourselves. That's part of the programming is to make us docile, to keep us, sit. And that's part of the pharmaceutical, like you said, the depression, the pharmaceutical company, all the pill pushing and all that crap that they're putting on.
Oh, I know. I had a few pills myself. I will show you a prop here. Oh my God, place is falling apart. I kept these bottles for a very good reason. Now, I'm not going to show off the name and all that, but when I was first diagnosed with some of my conditions, these are 3 bottles of pills that I was issued by the Canadian government to help me with anxiety, depression, high blood pressure, what have you. It's because of those pills there, I gained about 40 pounds. Not to mention drinking and self-medicating. You beat yourself up all the time because of it. And then some of the therapy I had, and I'm not dissing the social work trade. They're an asset as far as I'm concerned. But when somebody has mental issues and they're basically breaking down from the inside out, you need a shrink, someone who's studied the brain, someone who understands culture and society, not just fly off the handle and try to put on a happy face. Doesn't work that way. That's one of the things I've seen in people that don't even really need that kind of medication too. They're just told, here, take this, it'll make you feel better. Do this, it'll make you feel better. Yeah. Whatever happened to going outside and going for a walk, trying to pump some weight, take some martial arts, grab your loved one and say, God damn it, I love you. Trying to dig into that again, to get that out there. What do you ladies think about the medication issue with that, especially with the opioids and everything going on right now too?
I think it's terrible. And, I've known, and, in my life, I've experienced and known a lot of people that have been just their life's ruined. All those drugs do, most of them, not saying all of them, but most of them, all they do is keep you numb. And they don't allow you to actually deal with the root and cause of what is causing you pain or grief or depression or anxiety. They just sort of cover it and keep you in like a meh kind of, you're not sad, but you're not feeling your emotions the way you're supposed to be feeling them.
Well, you need your emotions. They're a gauge. Yeah. You need your emotions to gauge your direction in life, because when you're not happy, that means you need to do something different. But if you can't feel that you're not happy, then you're going to be numb. I mean, I don't know, because I haven't had to go that route with any sort of, I've kind of just stayed away from all that stuff. But I do see what it does to people. And I do see that it is very addictive, and they do that on purpose. They make it addictive so that you get stuck, and then and now you've got a bigger problem than you had before you started. Right. So you got problem after problem after problem. And that's what they want to do, is keep throwing the problems at you, keep dealing with the problems, when really it's in our spirit, because we're living a lie. And when you find out that, that war, I mean, they were all manufactured. Majority of the wars have been manufactured. Right. Yeah. So it's like, when you find that out, I mean, and I can't, so for all of us, I mean, this collective lie that we're living, we all know that something's not right. And that's an intuition. That's like a collective intuition that we have. So I feel like that's why a lot of people struggle to connect, is because, we are living a lie.
They're disconnected from themselves too.
Yeah.
And drugs
purposely.
On purpose. And it's all about money too. It's all about money. Well, most of it, right, is about money.
The system wants us separate. They want us divided. They don't want us. They want us 6 feet apart. Yeah. They want us not communicating. They want our masks on.
There's no profit in a healthy society, right?
Exactly.
There's no profit to be made. If we're all happy and healthy, and we don't need all the pills and all the all the stuff they feed us, all the garbage. If we don't need any of that because we're happy and healthy, then they have nothing.
Well, that's why we got to take our power back.
Well, breads and circuses, give them breads and circuses. Well, here's some uppers and downers for you. Here's some more liquor. Here's some more marijuana. Let the consumer be aware. Of course, let the buyer beware. Basic marketing, caveat emptor. But like we touched on there earlier, but with universities and indoctrination, universities used to be something to look up to, because it gave you that spectrum of opening up your thoughts, being subjective, thinking outside of the box, like we were always told. Now they're telling you to think inside the box, walk this line, or else.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where it gets difficult, especially for a lot of ex-soldiers, police officers, because they want to do right by their moral code. They want to do right for their friends and family, and what's right for the community and country. I've heard the dynamic of following orders. Okay. Nuremberg proved that. They were just following orders. They knew they were doing something terrible. Certain members, what happened in the Oka uprising in 1990, a lot of cops and a few soldiers were following orders. Was it right? Well, we don't know, but they had guns. The army had guns. So that's where it gets different. Now, as far as I'm concerned, there's no excuse for it. If a cop doesn't hand you a ticket for $1,200 because you're doing your freedom of association, then is that cop trying to make a quota, or is it because his dispatch sergeant told him to? Which is it? And it makes you think. I've talked to some police officers recently that don't really like what they have to do. They'd rather go out and investigate an actual crime, or catch legitimate speeders or people that are drunk and driving. They don't want to harass people on the street. They don't want to give them tickets. They don't want to wait in airports and take people into vans and take them to the quarantine hotels. They don't want to do that. But there's a lot of security guard wannabes that want to do that too, which is kind of scary. Because I have my security license. I was trained in security work, and I don't want to do that. Regardless if I need work or not, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to herd people into any kind of corner. Yeah. If I catch someone shoplifting, fine. If I catch someone committing a crime, fine. But I'm not going to treat people like cattle. Yeah. And it's just, like I say again, gone full-blown retard. And for what?
That comes from that comes from your core knowing that you're causing wrong harm to another man or woman, right? So that's what we need to activate in people, and just remind them who we are, right? It comes back to, who are we? Do we want to wrong and harm each other? No, we don't. We don't want to wrong and harm each other. So when you take on a title, you actually diminish the capacity, because men and women supersede every single title out there. So any title that's out there is actually a diminishing of your capacity, not an improvement. And we need to realize that once you take a title on as man or woman, it diminishes your capacity, doesn't improve it.
Same with labels, right?
Yeah.
Labels on mental illness, all these, things you can say, oh, you have this and this and this and this and this, but really those are just labels that separate you and make you not be normal or whatever. They make you lower, right? They're saying, oh, you have something wrong with you, but really you don't have anything wrong with you. You have issues and you have pain and you have trauma and you have things that you need to deal with that you haven't. That's what
the shadow self too. There's a shadow side of ourselves, because we have, our conscious self that we walk around with, but then there's a part of ourselves that we've been taught, through childhood or wherever it comes from, that we've been taught to hide. And that part usually comes out. And that's the part that we need to deal with. And that's part of this whole movement.
Part of healing too. And that's part of the awakening.
The awakening is dealing with the darkness, right? Shining
Connecting
the light
with yourself,
on the dark.
becoming who you truly are. And I think the screens and everything that the government's doing to us, the entertainment industry, everything is all distracted, keep us disconnected from who we truly are.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
But what? Hollywood's going down. It's happening.
Well, you did that too, ironically enough.
Yeah, Hollywood is it's just weird. Hollywood is going down. It's people are not paying attention.
People are seeing how gross it is. Like you brought up the Grammy thing, right? I saw that. The Grammy that.
Oh.
So we're going to cancel Dr. Seuss, but we're going to show this on TV for our children.
Disgusting.
Well, Pepe Le Pew. Who grew up with Pepe Le Pew, right? Honestly, exactly. Looney Tunes was like a staple in my house. That and Super Friends, Pepe Le Pew, the Looney Tunes, G-Force, everything. And we knew that the skunk was out of line, but he wasn't violent. It's just, you look at that poor cat he kept pursuing. She wasn't really afraid of him. He smelled really bad. He stunk. That's why she was trying to flee. She didn't want to smell him anymore. She wasn't feeling raped or violated.
Yeah.
She was a cat. It was a cartoon. Same as Elmer Fudd, Yosemite Sam, even Foghorn Leghorn. The guy would literally pick up a dog's butt and eat the dog with his stick. Like, that was funny.
Yeah.
It never encouraged me to go beat a dog with a stick. Luckily my parents stepped in saying, no, you don't do that. You didn't, So it goes back.
Potato head?
Somebody Sam, say it.
How about that potato head?
Oh, like this.
No more Mr. Potato. Yeah,
just potato head. You can pick what you want to be.
It's just a potato head. Well, we just go look at Ottawa, our prime minister. That's a potato head. You know? One day he's got pert pluff. Next day he looks like a swab, cavalier. The next he can't decide what he wants to do, but he's got great socks.
Yeah, he is an actor.
He's just a drama
teacher. I know actors personally. Actors can't stand him.
He's a bad
actor.
He's a drama teacher. He should go back. Actually, he shouldn't go back to teaching drama, because we don't want him anywhere near any children.
No, I don't want to see him in any kind of institution other than being locked up for his lies and his conspiracy. So we'll take a few more questions from the floor, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll have to begin to shut this down. Right. My usual format is usually about an hour and a half, but because of some chores I have to do this evening, I have to cut this short. My guests tonight are Tammy and Tiffany, freedom fighters out of Calgary, mothers, patriots, and lovers of this country all together here. So please hand in your questions the best of your ability. We shut this down in a few minutes. Jilly Davis, welcome, Jilly. They've ruined entertainment through their vile wokeness. You can't watch anything anymore. I agree. It gets terrible. Even my beloved Star Trek is being compromised every time when it comes to woke. And it's like, well, if we live to see the 23rd century and we are able to conquer space as they do in the Star Trek series, I don't think being woke is really going to mean much anymore, because I think we'd actually get along and not worry about petty little differences in the past of what happened. So
yeah, it's more than being woke right about now. It's if you're aware of what's going on, what are you doing about it? Yeah. So that's it's action. It's time for action. It's not time to talk about it. Or, we are talking about it, but we also take action, right? By having a podcast, by having a rally, by doing these different things, right?
Oh, definitely, definitely. And it's good to have a podcast that way, reaching out like radio. But even mainstream radio has gone to crap too. I remember years ago listening to CBC and different alternatives. You'd have a variety of stations to look at and to see. But now, what's there? It's all corporate, and it's all promoting this woke agenda, this left side of everything. Again, whatever happened to free thought and questioning? Whatever happened to seeing a great band and hearing some great music? No, you've got to watch the Grammys and watch Cardi B, basically scissor another girl on national television. And for what?
Yeah.
Like what's her big song? It's about her wet ass genitalia.
Yeah. Right. And that's okay. And that's who that they're pushing our children to look up to. It's disgusting.
Well, it is. It is. Oh, 1 second, ladies.
Hello, Mom. Just guess who he's talking to. It's okay. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like watching.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you like watching that?
The WAP?
Yeah.
I couldn't even watch it.
I didn't watch
I can't watch it.
We don't.
I saw pictures and stuff. That was enough for me.
Well, and that's what he was saying. I just wanted to say this because I wanted to bring this up about. He's talking about like what the media is putting out there and the news stations and all this. They're all, if you go up the chain, they're all controlled.
Oh yeah, they're all owned by the
like
same
4 corporations.
Yeah, they're all owned by the same people.
Like 4 or 5 corporations.
Yeah, something like that.
And it probably
6
boils
maybe.
down to a handful of people.
Yeah.
Own all of the media, all of the networks, all broadcasting, everything that you're.
Yes, sorry, it was my wife calling.
That's okay.
Okay, we were guessing Mom. We were like, hello, Mom.
Mother, I'm doing okay, Mom.
Hi, Mommy. I'm just on my podcast right now.
That's right. I'm watching my sci fiction here. So.
We were just talking about how the media and all the broadcasting that's out there, that's controlled. It's all controlled. It's all owned by like a handful of corporations.
And it's all left leaning. It's all leaning to one side.
Oh, exactly. It's becoming a shit show.
Yeah. And people think that because there's so many different stations and channels and all this stuff that it's, that's impossible. Well, no, follow it up to the top and you'll see there's like a spider web at the top that has like and all the media and all the outlets and everywhere that you're getting this mainstream narrative from is owned by just a handful at the top.
Yep. The trickle down theory they try to promote in the 80s. Trickle down economics, and yet it's trickling just to a few companies though. And if you're a writer or an upcoming journalist who actually takes the initiative to be credible and to be a legitimate journalist, you either have to walk the line or else. And it's a weird dynamic. You keep hearing this: walk this or else, do this or else, pay your taxes or else, turn on your heating or else, do this or else.
Well, it's a form of control, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they do with these teachers. Everybody's in fear of their livelihood. Everybody's in fear of how do I continue to sustain myself and my family if I don't follow the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if enough of us say enough's enough, then boom, now welcome to new world. Welcome to the new world when we finally say enough's enough. And this is what pisses me off is all the revolution, like everything that's happening in all these other countries. They keep that from us. Why are they not telling us what's happening in the other countries? They don't want us to know. They don't want us to see our fellow men and women standing up against the tyranny. They don't want us to see it. They try to hide it from us. Mm-hmm. So if we were to see what these other countries are doing and they would actually give us some truth, there'd be massive quantities of us out there because we would be inspired that the change is here and is now, and we are the change. They keep this information from us to keep us, in our homes, right?
Mm-hmm.
True enough. Another advert there, ladies. So, like I say, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to donate, please go to CrustyCanuck.ca. Donations are in the links there. Just click on CrustyCanuck.ca. You can find the donations heading up on the page. Click on that. You can find my PayPal and my Buy Me a Coffee link. If not, you can send me an email transfer at CrustyBCanuck67@gmail.com. Find me there. You can also find me or find some great Crusty Canuck swagger at the Crusty Canuck Gear Shop. I got hats, got T-shirts, swimsuits for ladies, got patriotic gitch for the men out there, especially for the gun rights wannabes out there too. Please check out the Crusty Canuck Gear Shop. And you can also reach Tammy and Tiffany at tntsoulsisters@gmail.com. Ask them anything you'd like to know. We're going to shut this down in a few minutes, so please get your questions into Tiffany and Tammy as soon as possible here. This is the Crusty Canuck Thursday Fastball with your host, Crusty Canuck, and my lovely guests, Tammy and Tiffany. So,
thanks again for having us on here.
not a problem. You're more than welcome. You are a friend of the Crusty Canuck podcast group. Yes. So by all means,
we're in the loop. We have a big rally coming up. We were just saying we were going to talk about.
Yeah. Do you mind if we talk about our rally coming up?
Yep. Go right ahead. Please talk about it. Tell the world.
There's a worldwide demonstration coming up this Saturday, March 20th. I can't even count how many countries are involved because it's like almost all countries are having a worldwide rally
demonstration. Yeah.
So that we're having one here in Calgary on Saturday
at 1:00.
Outstanding.
Princess Island Park.
Where? What park? Sorry.
Princess Island.
Princess Island Park in Calgary, 1:00 Saturday, March 20th.
Be there.
Be there. We have a great speakers. We're going to have Lee Merritt. She's one of the frontline doctors, American frontline doctors there. And we're going to have Gerald Salente. We have David Stefan coming with the True Nutritional. Yeah. True Nutritional. And we have True Hope Nutritional. And then we have Adam's Barbecues coming. And so we have
right on.
We have a lot of great speakers that are coming. Paul with Warrior Calls is going to speak. So we have a lot of good people coming in, and we have that Kerry guy with the Outlaws.
Yeah, a friend actually. His bar just got shut down here. Him and his partner.
Yes.
Yeah, they got shut down, and now unlawfully and closed down due to a bunch of things. The no tracing. They weren't doing that properly. There was some waitresses not wearing masks. They were targeted. They were shut down a couple times. And now they've actually, the landlord asked them for their keys back. Mm-hmm. So, and to remove all property. So they basically have just lost their entire business and livelihood. So that's really sad. Anyway, he's going to be there talking. So we're going to, hoping to have some support for him there.
I just see how we're live streaming it. So we are live streaming it. If you guys go to the Walk for Freedom, Alberta Facebook page. So if you go onto Facebook, if you're on Facebook, we'll be live streaming it there. And I think we live stream onto Instagram too.
I don't know. No, probably not. But Misty Wind also.
Misty Wind and Richard. We have a bunch of people, and we usually post on the Facebook page. Or if you're in the Telegram, we have a group that's called We Are the Light. And we have, we also have a Walk for Freedom page in there, but it's not as big as the We Are the Light group. So.
There'll be lots of people live streaming it, though.
That'll be good.
Whoever's there. A lot of people will be live streaming.
So it'll be another big.
But if you want to come too, that's even better.
I will see what I can do. That's the thing.
Well,
because
exactly.
Calgary is about a 4-hour drive for me. So it's a matter of making sure I got my pennies in order. So because gas is expensive now in Alberta. Yeah. Who would have thought, right? Go figure. But it's not an excuse. It's just the absolute truth. I would love to be there waving the flag with a speaker horn. I would love to speak at your events too sometime. Wow. So maybe we can arrange that as well.
For sure. Yeah.
Like I say, I'm applying for a political seat in the VCP, so I could maybe do some campaigning prior to any time they call an election. But by all means, yes, I'll definitely take them that offer sometime soon. As I say, ladies and gentlemen, I am talking with Tammy and Tiffany. Basically, two loving mothers, love their family, love their lifestyles, love democracy, love freedom, love their country, and they want the truth, and you should have it. Anyhow, anything left to say, ladies, and before I shut this down for the evening?
Well, we have an upcoming, we're going to be doing across Canada. So that's going to be coming out, something that we're going to be announcing where we're going to go across, having a rally tour. So maybe you could hit us up if we're a little bit closer to you. I don't know. It was Wainwright. How far is Wainwright? You're in Alberta, right? Or is that
yeah, it's Alberta.
Yeah. So you're just you're Alberta.
North? Is it north? Is it kind of by Edmonton?
It's east of Edmonton. If you want to get technical, it's east. It's 2 hours east of Edmonton. Okay. So I guess I'm about a half hour shy from the Saskatchewan border. So
Edmonton a little closer. Okay.
By all means.
Well, I guess what else can we talk about? The only other thing I would say is if anybody's looking for a realtor in Calgary or area, I do real estate because I know how they're keeping us from being. My full-time activist job has been keeping me from basically soliciting for a real estate business. So if anybody needs a realtor in the city that's normal, and give me a call.
Yeah, she's had a little bit of hate, towards her, because of her values and the way she's thinking and stuff. So.
Yeah, they try to target me. Look at this anti-masker.
What is she doing? She has some nerve. Oh my God, she doesn't realize how oppressed they are. The internalized misogyny we all feel. What is this? What is this? Yeah, I've heard all those excuses from some, lack of term, feminazis, per se. You know, my internalized, I just hate women so much because I keep it all internalized. And yet, you know, my mother raised me pretty good, and my wife tolerates my BS. So I'm pretty sure I'm not a misogynist. Hello, little feller. How you doing?
And we're going to be doing some wrestling over here with this one.
To be that young and energetic again. Anyhow, before we shut this down, ladies and gentlemen, I have been Crusty Canuck. On this beautiful 18th of March, this has been the Thursday Fastball with Crusty Canuck. My guests tonight have been Tammy and Tiffany, freedom fighters, mothers, patriots, and just downright decent human beings altogether. You can reach them at tntsoulsisters@gmail.com. You can also find me at crustycanuck.ca. Please check out my shop and please consider donating. And stay tuned to my community page and Facebook page for updates. And please check out my recent poll that I posted on my YouTube page and Facebook page, respectively. Like I always say, look after your friends and loved ones. Thank you, my guests, once again. Great job. Well done on your efforts. And we keep up the good fight. And
Thank
you,
you.
my listeners and viewers out there as well. Keep up the good fight. Ask the tough questions. Harass your politicians. Call them. Email them. Snail mail them. If you got a few extra bucks to give the stamps, by all means do it. As far as I know, I think it's free to mail your MP. But do it. Get on their bucks. Hello, little guy. You got more hair than I do.
Yeah. Take action. Take action. That's what
Will do.
Take
Anything else I want to say, ladies, before we shut her down?
No,
just
just
thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you very
for
much.
having us.
And,
Anytime. You are
keep
welcome
doing
on
what
the
you're
podcast
doing.
anytime. Well, I that was like a Dolby in surround sound. It was excellent. I appreciate that. Well, I appreciate doing it. I'm glad you're a subscriber and all that now too. Please, I'll do what I can. You do what you can, and we'll keep the fight going to keep this democracy alive and well.
Yeah.
Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Crusty Canuck. Look after your friends and loved ones. Do what you can to help each other out. And remember, humanity and merit wins the day. Take care and stay posted for my next episode. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.